Hey, what's up? Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel. So the mysterious vaping disease is no longer a mystery, it seems. This story is about a week old, actually. I've sat and watched it and read about it, but I haven't really seen it pick up steam like it should because a lot of people vape, and I've talked to people that I know of that vape, and they don't know about this. So listen up. This is pretty important. So they are calling it now EVALI, EVALI. That stands for e-cigarette or vaping product use associated lung injury. And they have found the cause of what is causing it. Now it has affected 1,500 people so far that we know of. Out of those, 35 people have died. They have been able to perform autopsies on these people. One doctor described their lungs as being sticky and wet and sticky to the touch, which is what this product here that we're going to get into and discuss is doing to the lungs. So educate yourselves. The more you know, then the more safer you are. The more you know. Imagine a rainbow above my head. The more you know, the more you grow. That's what I was actually even trying to say. Anyways, from the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, outbreak of lung injury associated with the use of e-cigarette or vaping products. We're going to go down here to here. The CDC has identified vitamin E acetate as a chemical of concern among people with e-cigarette or vaping product use associated with lung injury, EVALI, which I said before. Recent CDC laboratory testing of bronchoalveolar lavage, BAL fluid samples collected from the lungs of 29 patients with EVALI submitted to CDC from 10 states found vitamin E acetate in all of the samples. Vitamin E acetate is used as an additive, most notably as a thickening agent in THC-containing e-cigarettes or vaping products. It is also regular e-cigarettes. It's not just THC vaping products. The percentages from another site that I got were 86% e-cigarette and 16%, 14%, whatever it is, 14% THC. I believe those numbers will probably change. Take that with a grain of salt. Use your own discernment, basically. The CDC recommends that people should not use THC-containing e-cigarette or vaping products, particularly from informal sources like friends or family or in-person or online dealers. While this investigation is ongoing, vitamin E acetate should not be added to e-cigarettes or vaping products. If you get your e-cigarette from a reputable dealer, you should be able to tell if it has vitamin E acetate in it. They should also be able to tell you if they have any products that do not have vitamin E acetate in it, should you need to buy vaping products for medical vaping reasons, or you just choose to do so of your own free will. This is not medical advice. I repeat, not medical advice. I am in no way, shape, or form dispensing any kind of advice other than information here to inform yourselves from the Centers for Disease Control. And the advice of not buying this from your neighbor or your dealer or anything like that is good advice at all times for something like that. You don't know what their product is. You don't know that it has been tested, that their place is clean. You don't know anything about it. You're getting it from an unknown source, at least if you get it from a reputable dealer. In other words, a smoke shop that legally sells vaping products that's both e-cigarette and THC products, then you're definitely better off. In addition, people should not add any substance to e-cigarette or vaping products that are not intended by the manufacturer, including products purchased through retail establishments. CDC will continue updating to update guidance as appropriate as new data becomes available from this outbreak investigation. So what we know is pretty much what everybody had said. THC was in 82% of the samples, nicotine in 62% of the samples. According to the CDC, I saw other sites that had different numbers on that, so take that with a grain of salt until we know better, perhaps, what the numbers are. Those numbers are varying depending on the site you go to. I do take good stock in the CDC site, so yeah, take it with a grain of salt, but put it in the back of your head. But it's both e-cigarette and THC related, both of them together. Uh, what the CDC recommends. The CDC recommends people do not use THC-containing e-cigarettes or vaping products. Period. Just don't use them. If you must, like I said, we don't know for sure that is the only culprit. Use your best judgment, people. You are smart. Use your best judgment. Would I say personally quit e-cigarettes and vaping products altogether? Yes, I would. I would. There are additives in them no matter which way you slice it. We're going to find out down the road as they substitute with another additive that additive is as well just as dangerous. But CDC also recommends that people should not buy any type of e-cigarette or vaping products, particularly those containing THC from informal sources like friends or family or in-person or online dealers. Modify or add any substance to e-cigarettes or vaping products that are not intended by use for the manufacturer, yes. While it appears that vitamin E acetate is associated with EVALI, evidence is not yet sufficient to rule out contribution of other chemicals of concern to EVALI. As I said, you are smart. You must use your own judgment, your own discernment. This is not anybody giving you medical advice at all. This is someone saying, hey, here's what we know. Educate yourselves. You are smart. Use your best judgment for yourself. Many different substances and product sources are still under investigation, and it may be that there is more than one cause of this outbreak. The only way to assure that you are not at risk while the investigation continues is to consider refraining from use of all e-cigarette or vaping products. Again, that relates to what is the number one way to ensure that you survive a conflict. You avoid the conflict. What is the one way to ensure that this doesn't affect you? You avoid doing it. Again, use your best judgment, though. Adults using e-cigarettes to quit smoking should not go back to smoking. They should weigh all risks and benefits and consider using FDA-approved nicotine replacement therapies. That is, again, the CDC saying use your best judgment, know the risks, weigh them out, and decide for yourself. Adults who continue to use an e-cigarette or vaping product should carefully monitor themselves for symptoms and see a healthcare provider immediately if they develop symptoms like those reported in this outbreak. What are the symptoms? The respiratory symptoms are cough and chest pains. There are also gastrointestinal symptoms such as stomach ache, abdominal pain, lower abdominal pain, and diarrhea. Irrespective of the ongoing investigation, e-cigarette or vaping products should never be used by youths, young adults, or women who are pregnant. Adults who do not currently use tobacco products should not start using e-cigarette or vaping products. There is no safe tobacco product. All tobacco products, including e-cigarettes, carry a risk. THC use has been associated with a wide range of health effects, particularly with prolonged frequent use. The best way to avoid potential harmful effects is to not use THC-containing e-cigarette or vaping products. Again, use your best judgment. This is pretty important news because I do see people vaping all the time. I know people who vape. I see it everywhere. I have vaped. It's everywhere. It's prevalent. And I don't really see this news taking off like it should. So this will definitely, because of the subject matter, be demonetized or limited ads, I guess I should say. But that's okay. This is information that needs to be spread. It needs to get out there. Give it a thumbs up, like, share. You know what to do. Anyways, I thank you for your time. This is pretty important news that for some reason I haven't seen take off like perhaps it should. And again, use your best judgment. Educate yourselves. The CDC website is available to the public. They have great links, as you can see on my screen here. All these blue links right here you can click on and get more information based upon that particular subject. I highly encourage you to do that and educate yourselves. All I'm doing is being the messenger and passing it on. I thank you so much for your time. You guys are awesome. You guys are smart. You guys are worthwhile. You guys have a good one, and I will see you on the next one.